in the morning. Skipping school, that's a truancy body. I made me some rats in the morning. I had me a by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning. I had a sis by the morning. I got on a meat, no pneumonia. The rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a picture.
You got a picture me. Send me calling. Ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland. You should be cleaning my mansion. My peasant's disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to dustin'? Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. You can hear my haters from way up here. They don't make a sound. Body goes on these. White paint on my toes. When I send a new bay alert, gonna be mad. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost like who's you? Remember this face, cause I'm that you gon' lose to. Dripping in ice, you looking at you. It's squad goals win. Are you pretty like no?
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with it.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Here comes Montgomery now to return it. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Jameis now on first down. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
First down, Winston. And a catch right side by Evans. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This one caught left side by Cooper. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Jones. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Here we go, even.
On second down, it's Jones. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
They'll run with Montgomery. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Second and goal from inside the 5.
Hey, sub. Let's go. Hey, sub. Let's go. Hey, sub. Let's go. Even.
They'll try to throw now. Winston. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucks. Mike Evans with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bucks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. The extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. So after the sack of Tannehill, the Dolphins come up here on a 3rd and long.
20.
Out of the gun, Tannehill. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. It was DJ Swearinger right there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Winston and the Bucks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. From the gun, Winston. He completes it to Evans. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week. And Winston lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now Jameis on second down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's third down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had called an incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on third down. Jameis to throw it. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So now here come the Dolphins. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll start the drive with Drake. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw on second down is Tannehill. Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And now the Bucks deciding to take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On first down, Tannehill brought in over the middle by Grant. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the 50, it's Tannehill. Flushed out right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Winston and the Bucks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucks in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out.
base, hey. Follow, okay? Ready? Blue ready.
Mike 52.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Let's go. It's time to play. Shift. Come on. Sunday. Hey, sub. Let's go. Sonic. Boys up. Hey, sub.
Winston now to throw on first down. And an alley to run. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
The give is to Jones. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Follow.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Let's go now. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
They always that changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at the 20. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Caught on the right side by Jones. A gain of 6 there on 1st. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, 20.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On 2nd and 10, Tannehill. He's going to loft one deep over them, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Winston and the Bucks take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Following the interception, Winston eluding the pressure right, and he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
Let's go now.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Winston. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Levante David in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Play. Hey, 20.
Tannehill. He'll buy some time right. Complete to his running back, Kenyon Drake. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
On 1st down, Drake. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Hey, 84 right there. Check that guy.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. Here's Tannehill now on second down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Now on first down, Drake again. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Flush to his right. Over the middle, complete. That's Grant. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and the ball that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. First foray into the red zone for Miami. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. In for the score. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Parkey adds the extra point, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
They'll begin here with Bernard. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, we got 4. We got 4. Let's go, fellas. We got 4 down. Let's go.
Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it second down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Hey, 20.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. He dumps it off to Drake. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Tannehill. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hey, 20.
Here's Tannehill. It's caught. Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Tannehill on the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Tannehill. He goes underneath to Drake. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
When a linebacker's able to sit at the 2nd level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
3 down.
Tannehill now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? There wasn't the line that jumped that time, the second level.
No, that's a great observation because most of the time it's those guys up front so eager to get off on the snap. They do it, but in this case, you're exactly right. Second level, probably because they moved up to the first level, and that hurts them.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Here's Darkwa. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd won the ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Inside the 5 to the 4. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
They'll give it to him up the middle. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
They'll try and pound it in with Drake. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Kenyon Drake hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are in for 6. Parkey with the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. Here comes Montgomery now to return it. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Now he goes spin. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
First down, Winston. He drops it off for Bernard. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now Winston. Being chased out left. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Jameis to throw it. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Let's go now.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. 7 big yards on the carry there to get them within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. To throw, Winston. Hard throw, incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw. Ball in those situations, you throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick here is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Well, Brandon Pace comes into play now because
first play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Hey, 20. Deep. Hey, 20. Tiger.
To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Here we go.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Tannehill hands to Drake. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They stay on the ground with Drake. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Tannehill Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. So points so crucial in a tight game like this, but this kick off the goalpost, and that'll keep the score right where it is.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made this a 2-score game, but any cushion this late definitely would have helped. Now they need to ask their defense for another stop, and that's going to require some work.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39. Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. 3rd down here.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Stephon Anthony in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the 1st downs. And the goal, End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Right back to him on first down. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is. Going on? Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
The Bucks on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 9.
Ready? Blue lady. Sonic. What's up?
Back to throw. Howard has the first down and then some. And he will take this into enemy territory as he's out of bounds on the other side of midfield. A big play for the Bucks there on 3rd down. 48 yards. The 4th quarter score now from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. A victory there would mean they're 6th on the year. They'll look to throw. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Even.
He's back to throw. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. 23 yards on the play. First down now, but that clock rolling. And now all of a sudden the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Clock running. The Bucks try to go quickly and get set. They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Returnable here for Davis. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Elsewhere, fourth quarter score now from Baltimore. And it was the Patriots that wound up winners in that one. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there with time running out. And the Dolphins have taken the lead here in the 4th. And it's no good. That could be a critical miss here in a one-score game in the 4th. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it.
Hey, let's go, let's go. Here we go, hey.
And now with the play clock almost to 0, Dirk Cutter's going to burn a timeout, as he'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Back to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin. That'll bring up 2nd down. Well, these corners, I tell you, they've done excellent work all game long.
They remind me of guys in the past who just said, hey, throw it out here 100 times. Nothing good is going to happen. And if you throw it in the wrong place, I'll take it the other way.
Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. Winston. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Winston. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Winston. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for Miami, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3 and 4 through 7 games. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints. So for Charles Davis and our...
We coming, man. For the guys, man. P&V. Skirt.
Special guest, Jacob Trump.
15, when I saw my first 100 bids, got my first 100 bids and made it through the running, man. They know how we coming, man. Gotta get this money, man. I came up from nothing, had to turn it into something, man. 15, when I saw my first 100 bids, got my first 100 bids and made it through the running, man. They know how we coming, man. Go and get this money, man. I came up from nothing, had to turn it into something, man. Be winning, keep grinding, it's just the beginning. Rap about they ain't living. Ain't no top boy, you gotta be kidding. Like Nike, I go get a check. Baby girl, watch your flex. Got your tree, she go for the P&V on my up next. Can't wait till I caught me a Mozzie. On Cali, I feel like a different man. We got the pack, we delivering. I remember cold nights, I was shivering. Gotta go get the bag and no stopping me. Saying they know I'm a prodigy. Saying these be watching me. Got your tree in the spine, and I just hit 1 million views. So much better, I don't know what to do. Stack it up, gon' call me a coupe. I be dripping, they calling me soup. I be dripping, they calling me soup. Stack it up, gon' call me a coupe. I be dripping, they calling me soup. 15, when I saw my first 100 bids, got my first 100 bids and made it through the running, man. They know how we coming, man. Gotta get this money, man. I came up from nothing, had to turn it into something, man. 15, when I saw my first 100 bids, got my first 100 bids and made it through the running, man. They know how we coming, man. Go
Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging me. Just need a bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even be that, I don't want none of it. He's mad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Got me is a laser, my posse deep and I raiding. We act a fool for the paper, had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches best over baby. Put the bread on me. That on my bacon, big it flat in the bacon. I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Cop a roof all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like $1 million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke away longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bugging. One in the hand, one in the bag, bugging. Look at the cash, bubbly. Look at the cash, bubbly. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbly. Look at the cash, bubbly. Look at the cash, bubbly. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can. Yeah. Super fly for the dumbos, plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young. Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, but the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'ma step no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, not me. I can never be the one you want to stuff for. Money, that machine. They fell down my stove. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. Acting like a 9/11 folks. Matte black, liquor clean. Dead president and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Patience than a penny hoe.
Don't get empty your pockets. I don't do that. In my prison, you do what I tell you to. Get over it. He's gonna get nasty.
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbly. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbly. Look at the cash, bubbly.